Staged Court from Quartz Crafts, and today I am doing a project for the honeybees. It's my tutorial day and I'm going to show you some of the fun things you can do with twine. I am making my good friend Hazel's birthday card today, and if you knew Hazel, you knew that these colors are just, they're so her. And when I think of Hazel, I think of sunflowers and ladybugs. She's a very good photographer and she takes a lot of pictures of sunflowers and ladybugs. So I've pre-cut everything here. I used the Cheerful Seasons cartridge. I just got this actually from another honeybee, Wanda. Thanks, Wanda. I bought it from her. And I just love it. I've been having a blast with it. So this is everything that you'll need for the project. At least so far. You never know when I want to add something in. And I used this Cuttlebug folder already. I'm kind of seeing spots. And I already ran it through the Cuttlebug on my flower. You can't even see that. Hold on a second. There you go. And I have a couple buttons. This is the this is the center that came out of the flower, and no, you can't really see it, but it did not cut out all the little holes well, which is fine because I'm going to use this button to go on top of it anyway, and I'm going to cover this button with twine. I always use the buttons I'm not too fond of, and I really don't like this dirty color, so this is today's project. So we are going to cover this button with twine, and we are also going to write Hazel's name on the front of her card. So hang tight. I'm going to glue this all together so that we can just do the twine part and make this a fairly short video. I'll be right back. Alright, so this is what I have so far on my card. I did end up grabbing a ladybug stamp using my Versamark ink, and I just kind of put the ladybug around the page to give the craft cardstock a little more pop. I layered some flowers underneath this one to give it some more dimension and some different textures. And besides that, I layered two ribbons here. Those are two different ribbons that are layered on top of each other. So now we are going to get to the center of the flower, which will be made out of twine. Now I had considered just taking this middle part that was cut out on the Cricut and adding a button with some twine that was in a bow. I'll show you what that would look like. And that's pretty cute. And I'm tempted to do it, but the fun thing about this is you don't have to glue it down yet, so you can mix and match. I also have this button, which was a lighter blue button to match the background, but I liked the darker, the white with the brown better, definitely, of the two. And I might go back to that. But for right now, I'm going to cover this button with twine and see if I like that even better than that option. These are Glue Arts Extreme Adhesive Squares. I love these. They are very, very sticky, and you have to keep an extra piece of roll to go over the top so that it doesn't catch on the squares if you decide to pick some of these up. But they come in mini and big. Right now I just have the big ones. You can also use glossy accents. This is what I'll be using when I end up writing Hazel's name on the card. It sticks really well to this, and I picked this up as a tip from my friend Jenny Suhian at Wee Memories. So she put it on the Twinery's Facebook page. This is what she uses, and I have found that it sticks really well. I didn't want to use it for this project because it was going to be a big glob of goo, and then I was going to have to get my hands all sticky. I have been using this Martha Stewart's all-purpose adhesive. This works really well too. I haven't seen a lot of difference between the glossy accents and this. And I use this as my main liquid glue because I like the small tip to the top, which is really dirty right now. Anyway, I'm going to use these for now, and I think you can see these. Let me double check. Yeah, that's the glue, and it's just a square, and it's very, very tacky. I'm just going to turn this upside down, rub on, and peel right off, and repeat. I'm using 3 just to cover most of the surface. You can cut these up if you don't mind getting a pair of scissors sticky and get more out of them. Normally I'd cut one of these in half, but I just got a new pair of scissors, so I'm trying to make them last. So now it's all sticky on one side. Now this is actually the top side of the button. I like the down side so that it sits flat. The underside doesn't really matter since we're just going to be covering it with twine. Now, twine is fairly inexpensive, so I would highly recommend not being too frugal with it so that you can make sure you have enough to, once it winds around, to get to the end. In fact, I'm not quite sure this is enough. Now I take it and I take it in half, and I'm not sure you can see this. Here's the end, here's the spool. So I'm using this part that has the double-sided, and that is going to be my center. You want to try to keep it so that it doesn't get twisted. And I'm going to put it right in between the two little buttonholes. And then I'm going to take my left hand and keep it steady. And the fun thing about the extreme adhesive squares is while they're super tacky, they do have a little bit of give. So you can pick it back up. Now you want them to be sitting flat. As you can see, I didn't get this one to touch the extreme adhesive square, so it's trying to bunch up on me. You want these two to always sit next to each other as opposed to letting them get on top. Now I've pretty much at the end of this. If I go any further, there's no extreme adhesive square there. Which is why you want to try to get all the way to the edges, but it's no worries because now I can just go back in with my glossy accents and finish it off. And if you want to finish it off around the edges, you could too. I'm going to leave those because I think it adds, it adds a shadow and a little bit of depth to it, but sometimes I do go all the way around. So you always want extra twine. Remember, you can always trim it again. The other thing I would do is, it's a lot easier to taper the edges. So make one shorter than the other so that they tuck in and you don't see as much as of the end. Alright, next up we are going to use this lemon drop twine from the Twinery to write Hazel's name with glossy accents. So I'm going to have to tilt this for me, but all I'm going to do is put a thin line . And then I'm just going to cut little pieces approximate in length. Again, you can always trim them. So in the end, this is what it looks like with the twine center, but I've gone back and forth enough times that I like this center better. So that is what my card is going to look like after it gets sent to Hazel. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day. Don't forget to play along with the challenge at Honeybee's Buzz. We'd love to see what you can do with twine.